Oh,
All right, and we are live.
Hi.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Ho, ho,
Christmas. Oh,
So I'm gonna just go ahead and just dive into this. I have done a deep dive on Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and y'all can either let me go first or let me go last because it's going to be long and rambling, and it's going to involve discussion with y'all. And I anticipate that it could go over my normal 5 minutes.
that's kind of like
That's
sex, right?
fine.
Long and rambling, and
Go.
I'm thinking of something else.
It's been a while. Big Mike,
You
I
go
don't know.
first.
Well, I'm not crying. You're crying. You don't. You might as well go first, boss, because
Yeah,
why not? I mean,
let's do that.
yeah.
Okay. First off, these were four really fun movies to watch, all for different reasons. I think that they show the best of our personalities, just a mishmash of what we're like. So I really enjoyed this week.
Right, I
My
picked the
movie
cereal.
was my, my movie was Kiss
Oh,
Kiss
freaking
Bang
out.
Bang, and it was the first time I've had it on before, just never watched it. But so this was my first time to see the entire movie, and I've got to say, it was great. I really liked it. I'm not going to say that it had the Christmas overtures that your movies had, but it did have a happy ending in a very bizarre, weird way.
Oh, it's good.
So let me give you a little bit of background for it, a brief synopsis about it, because I want to talk about this movie. So Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is Shane Black, remember Predator, his neo-noir black comedy starring Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer, and it has a twist ending that could use some explaining, which we'll get into. So it's about two-bit crook Harry Lockhart, played by Downing Jr., who stumbles into an audition for a mystery film while on the run from the cops. It ends up with him landing a part. He goes to Hollywood and he's flung into a tangled murderous conspiracy and runs into his childhood sweetheart, or was it Harmony Lane? And also, the best part of this movie is hard boiled PI Perry. What was his name?
Very gay.
Yeah. Not gay, Terry. Something like that.
Yeah, Gay Perry, or Gay Perry, I
Gay
think is what it
Terry.
was.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, and this was great. The dialogue between the actors was dynamic. It was really a fun movie, and I think it had a lot of standout performances. Michelle Monaghan is the lady in the movie, and she was actually pretty good. I don't know what happened to her, but she's definitely underserved in Hollywood.
I think she married some football player or something, and
Hmm.
then she played Tom Cruise's wife in Mission Impossible, and
Yeah,
that's
she
probably
she
what
was in
happened.
a Mission Impossible. So before I go all of my deep dive into stuff, I wanted to ask y'all, what did y'all think? Did you like it?
Well, hold on, boss. Mike, Craig. Hey, good evening.
Gentlemen,
Glad to see you too. Whoever else is out there, let yourself be known. All right, boss. I just wanted
Merry
to.
Christmas, everybody.
Yes.
yes, they're on
I've
the
got the
naughty list.
feedback again. So
I
I don't
like
know.
this movie. You had me at Shane Black.
Right? Same.
He's one of my favorite screenwriters in Hollywood, and so when I was excited because I'd never seen this one before, so I was excited when I looked. Oh, Shane Black, cool, and Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer when he was still Val Kilmer. This was good. This was good. This was like if you took The Last Boy Scout, Die Hard, oh gosh, last Long Kiss Goodnight, and put them in a blender,
Mhm.
and then throw a little twist in there. This is
with
what
a
you get out
with a little lethal weapon
with a
for
little lethal
Simon.
weapon. Thank you. And you spit that out all over the screen, and this is what you get. Robert Downey Jr. is always likable, and he's a great actor, and you've got some insight into what was going on with him during the filming of this. So I won't throw that out there. And Val Kilmer, this is when he was still, cool Val Kilmer. Hey Tina,
Hi, Tina.
Hey, Tina.
Hi, Tina.
I like this one, and I always like movies about Hollywood ish stuff. And this one really, was a lot of fun to watch. It had something for Craig in it, and Ash Hole probably satisfied their needs for a little bit of TNA in this one, or A&T, whatever. I enjoyed it. Good flick, well paced, well acted, well filmed. I'm out.
So this was a romantic comedy action movie. It was kind of weird. The film was actually Shane Black was coming off The Long Kiss Goodnight, which didn't do very well. Excuse me. And so he had this was a tough sell. This film. It took him a minute to get it produced. And once he did, people actually really liked it. It did. I don't know how well it did at the box office, but it definitely has a cult following. People really enjoy it. And insofar as the actors, I mean, you guys know Robert Downey Jr., you know Val Kilmer. They were in their prime. I mean, a little more than kids at the time. What was it, 2005? When did this come out?
2005. Yeah, you're right.
2005,
You are correct.
yeah. So it was 18, 19 years ago, right? So they were kids. You know, well, kids, 40.
Yeah.
For us, that's kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they all did really well. The cinematography was all right. It wasn't great, but the film itself, the plot was good, the acting was good, and Shane Black is Shane Black. So anything he's a part of is usually pretty good. So yeah, I like this one. It was a good pick.
Yeah, I loved it. Never seen it before. I mean, it was good. The plot was good. The plot twists were great. The best part was the acting, the back and forth between Val Kilmer and Robert Downey. Those two just hit it off in this movie. It was great. And I like the way that it was that Robert Downey is narrating it, and he's completely dropping things from the plot, and he has to go back and fill it in as if he's just some schmuck who's telling his own life story. It was good. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I would probably watch it again to pick up the little nuances I missed the first one.
Yeah, it's definitely one to have another look see at, to pick up the stuff you might have missed.
Alan's here.
Hey,
Yeah.
Alan.
Hey, Al.
And Tina.
Well, that's what I want to get into. Was I went doing my research. I went down a rabbit hole on Reddit, and so first off, let me say that this was the movie number one that got Robert Downey Jr. the Iron Man role
Oh,
It was because of this film?
because of this film.
Wow.
This was Downey Jr.'s first movie to make after being released from prison, so it was his comeback film. And the studios, they were not crazy about the screenwriting, despite the fact that this was the same guy who had done Lethal Weapon. Is she like showing you her boobs?
Just the one.
Just the one.
Concerned that I'm a hoe.
Well, okay, so she I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Tina's
I'm
boobs.
sorry.
I've gotta get back on track. But no, so Downey Jr., like I said, the studios weren't really crazy about making the film. They didn't give it a lot of money, but then when they saw it, they pitched it at Cannes and it became an immediate success. It got a standing ovation in Cannes. It was incredible. And there are people who, and I watched a bunch of interviews with Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer afterwards, and they were saying that there are people who said they loved every scene in this movie.
Wow.
So, like Hollywood people. So, yeah, it was great. This was, and I still have that feedback. So I'm sorry if I get confused. It's just I can hear myself talking. So, it was phenomenal. Like I said, I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And then now we're all thinking about Tina's boobs. Well, we're glad you're here, Landon. We're going to think about yours too.
I'm not going to make a joke about jingle bells.
I think about Tina's boobs. Anyway, what?
So this movie, like I said, when I went down my Reddit deep dive, some of the stuff that I found was that Harmony Lane, which is the main female lead,
Mhm.
the story is about how her little sisters come to Hollywood to look for her father, and there's like this whole sideline that's going on. And there's a lot of people who believe that Harmony Lane was the body, and that playing Harmony Lane is actually the sister.
Oh, well, did you give the synopsis on this, Hallie?
Which synopsis?
Of this show, of this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry. I must have been thinking of Tina's boobs.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're good to you, bro.
It was short. I'm going back to the
Gotcha.
like I said, I just did the setup with the fact it's a very involved. I guess I could go back, Alan, and do it again.
It is. It is very involved. You're right. That's why I missed it, because it was so brief. Your synopsis was so brief, and I'm sorry. I apologize. I will.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to go off on this other part about all the little stuff.
Mhm.
First off, I don't know if y'all noticed that the bear's voice. Did you catch it, Rich Restucci? Because I know you're good at voices.
Yeah, I didn't catch it.
Lawrence Fishburne.
No.
Really?
So Harmony is in a commercial, which if you watch at the end of the movie, they show the commercial, and it's not her. It's one of the girls that was at the party
Oh.
Oh wow.
or at the club. I can't remember if it was at the party or the club that he met. It was the one who he asked. She asked who he was, and he said he was nobody. And she's like, "Oh, I've got somewhere to be," and she like walked off. That's the girl in the commercial with the bear,
Hmm.
All right.
not Harmony Lane as we know her. So then it was talking about like the spider and how she thought he was grabbing her boob, and then she was like, "Oh, but it's okay." And there was thought that, oh, well, this is how someone who had been physically molested by their father might have reacted.
Oh.
So there's a lot of little stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it, because there's a lot of stuff that it really kind of toyed with. And I looked, and I did not find anything about this with Shane Black on the stuff that I found tonight. But like I said, I'm gonna dive deeper. But just what some of the stuff that I found. Let me see if I can pull it up for y'all. Obviously, she just pretends she was in the ad. From the end of the movie, we know 100% that it wasn't her. So who was in the ad? That was one of the points that was made.
Okay.
She says the worst things is she's 35 years old and still trying to act. She's pathetic, and she sleeps with everyone. And she says that in a really nasty, arrogant way. And then she also says, I'm 34 and I'm a baby. So she's not really sticking with her story.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of little.
So Harmony goes to the guy's apartment and tells him her younger sister is dead and she needs help. She also says that the police found her stolen ID card and credit card from the older sister at the place where the supposed dead younger sister was found. There's just a lot of inconsistencies. So I don't know if that's actually part of the movie or just Easter eggs for us to try and figure things out. So I'm curious, did y'all notice anything weird, and you kept thinking, well, is this going to play out? Were there plot holes for you, and did you think that there was more going on than maybe it was on the surface?
No, but now I have to go back and listen to the bear.
I thought maybe there were plot holes. Just remember something that was dropped on the editing floor or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I mean, there was a lot to take in when you first watch it. Now I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Well, there was, like I said, there's a lot of stuff with the going back and forth with them. But anyway, so I say let's rewatch this and revisit it, because I'm really interested to see what we can catch the second time around. I thought this was a great movie, and it is an old movie, so I feel like there's no spoilers here. But Corbin Burnson was great in it. It had, it was just a good movie. It was solid.
Yeah. No, definitely.
And I also like about going back to Shane Black is the use of Christmas as a character in his films.
Oh yeah, he does
because
that a lot.
he does that a lot.
Yeah, he does.
It was Christmas in Nicaragua, wherever that place was, with the Predator. Did you notice he was hanging lights off his helmet? And
Oh yeah,
but you're
He's
right.
so
Though.
he came
silly.
down in a sleigh.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
I mean,
Yeah,
he did Lethal Weapon. He did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He did the
Last
long
Boy Scout was during
yeah,
Christmas,
and
I think. Or,
the Long Kiss Goodnight
mm-hmm.
and Iron Man 3.
Oh yeah, Iron Man 3. That's always widely considered a Christmas movie too.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, with Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bam.
We should try and get him on the show.
Robert Downey Jr.
Shane Black.
Oh.
That could be awesome.
Well, think about it. In the last month and a half, we've done 3 of his movies.
Yeah, right. Shane Black, if you're
4.
watching us, we want you on our show. I'm just starting. I'm just throwing the bait out there.
I'll ask. I don't mind.
I'd love to have Shane Black. I'd love to have John Carpenter too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
John Carpenter, if you're out there.
make a wish list, and I will draft up some emails.
James Cameron, Steven Spielberg.
All right.
It can't hurt to ask, right?
No.
Elizabeth Banks, she did Cocaine Bear. So.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay,
That would be
kids.
great.
So, Alan, what do you give it?
I give this one a 4.
Rich?
I will also give this one a 4. I enjoyed it.
Scott?
same here. 4.
That's so weird because I'm going to give it a 4 too.
Wow.
I think that's the first time we've ever agreed on a movie.
Yeah, right.
It is.
Wow.
All right, kids. Oh, well, I'm curious if anybody in the chat room has seen this movie and what they thought.
Yeah. Let's know.
Mike's got John Carpenter's autograph. I'm jealous.
Yeah, Landon, we'll try and get Robert Downey Jr. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge on here.
I don't
At least
think-
get him draft the emails. So
I don't think I could talk to him if he was like live and in person. It would have to be one of y'all.
Well, since we made
And we didn't even mention the finger. We didn't even mention the dog and the finger.
Oh God, yes.
Well, there's so
So-
much with this movie. It's
There
got a
is.
lot in it.
There's
you
a
know?
lot. I think that it's probably Val Kilmer at his best.
Yeah. Yeah.
One
what
of
it
his
is.
best, yeah.
Yeah. He's no Mad Mardigan, but that's pretty good. Or no real genius. To me, Val Kilmer, real genius, is the top of his game.
Well, that was what launched his career, wasn't it?
And
Yeah, pretty much.
and I read somewhere where his character, Gay Perry, was the first openly gay main character in a Hollywood movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard it as action movie.
Wow, and that was not too long ago, really. You know, that's funny. That's
Have
funny.
you guys seen that special on Val Kilmer where you find out that he's been filming every film he ever was in?
No.
Yeah, I watched some of
The
that.
camera, and he filmed everything like off camera. He was
Right.
constantly filming, and they showed footage. It was really cool. They did Top Gun and they did Real Genius. Since he was, auditioning when he was a young lad. He did this. I thought that was pretty cool. It was a great idea. Just to capture
I just don't want to see the behind the scenes shots from the island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, yeah. That thing
Everybody-
got off the rails.
Everybody can do a bad movie here and there.
That's true. That is true. So we got 4 4s on this one, 4x4. So how about?
Let's
go ahead.
let's take note of this because this is a first, and if it ever happens again, we'll have to have a movie watch off.
To watch out.
I guess I'm
Nothing
gonna
better
call
than
it
a watch off. Hey Rich.
Yeah.
I hear you want to tell us about your movie.
I could do that.
Nice.
So my movie was Arthur Christmas, and I think it was 2011. I'm sorry, I was kind of late to the show tonight, so I wasn't able to write up my usual write up. But it's a 2011 film. Did very well at the box office, but still not so much. Not a lot of people know about this movie, which is odd considering it did so well when it first came out. It stars James McAvoy and Bill Nighy and Hugh Laurie. 3 Brits. It's a British show. It's really funny. It's animated. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it's totally worth the show. And it's what happens is there's Santa Claus is actually not one person. He's a series of people in the family that are just somewhat long-lived, but each one has a different, range of when they were Santa Claus. And the current Santa Claus is sort of a bumbling idiot, and he's a very nice guy, fantastic guy. And his two sons, Arthur is one. Arthur opens Christmas letters, and he's even more of a buffoon than his dad. And Steve is this big hulking guy, who's played by Hugh Laurie, and he runs everything. There's no more reindeer, there's no more sleigh. It's this big giant spaceship called the S1. Military precision with thousands of elves on the ship, and they drop down and get all the presents to everybody. The newest Christmas, Steve thinks he's going to be named the next Santa Claus because Santa's getting pretty old, and so there's a little accident when Santa is trying to not be seen, and an alarm goes off, and the kid almost sees Santa, so that they all escape. But in the doing so, one of the elves presses a button, and they lose a present. And so Christmas is all over, and then this poor girl, she didn't get her present, and Arthur figures it out. Arthur and this other, what was the other elf's name? Can you remember? It was like
I'll look it up
or something like that. There's always time for the bull. She
do that again.
No, she and he grabbed, the older Santa, who's played, grandfather Santa, who's played by Bill Nye. He's this toothless guy. He's always like, well, in my day we did it like this. I was Santa through the Cuban Missile Crisis. Blah blah. And so the three of them try to return or give this girl her present because Steve, who's all high tech and he's got his S1, he's telling Santa what to do and all that stuff. He's like, yeah, well, we missed one, no big deal. And they're like, no big deal, it's the end of it. And the whole movie is about Arthur and I can't remember, Brinley, is that what it was? Brinley?
Bryony,
the elf, and the older Santa Claus trying to gift a bicycle to this girl. It's really well done. There's a lot of funny moments, and there's a couple of moments where you're like, I'm not crying, you're crying. So that it's definitely worth a watch. I really liked it. This is going to be one of my Christmas staples. I'm going to watch this every year. I think I saw it for the first time maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I saw it with my wife and the kids, and we all loved it. It was great. What did you guys think?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. It's got quite the cast in it, really. If you look at like the 4 leads in Hugh Laurie, McAvoy, Bill Nye, and Jim Broadbent. They were both in that 3-movie series. The Corneo, was it the
drink?
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz,
Simon Pegg, and
I know which one you mean.
Nick Frost.
The Corneo series, right? Corneo, is that the ice cream? Yeah. So both those guys are in those.
Fuzz, Shaun
Hot Fuzz,
and at World's End.
Yeah, the World's End. Yeah. Bill Nye's always great. He's in shit at everything.
He is
back there, And James McAvoy, was he Professor X? Is that who he plays? Yeah, and he's great. I like this one. It was fun. It was a fun movie. I was kind of like going into it like it's an English, animated movie. And those are two things that I'm not really huge fans. Well, I can't say I like English stuff, but just together, it just didn't seem like it was gonna be funny. And it was heartwarming and it was funny.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. Good pick, Rich.
Thanks.
Hadley, you want me to go?
Yeah,
right.
Go ahead.
I'd never heard of this movie until you picked it. And I said, okay, it's animated. It's got to be a good movie. It exceeded my expectations. I loved this one. I love the grandpa who's, relating old war stories of World War, flying the sleigh over Germany and England during World War II and the Blitz. The current Santa, who was just a lovable, bumbling oaf. Steve was so pompous. And the whole thing was Arthur was the one with the Christmas spirit. And I loved it when, they go into the they go into the barn, and there's the old beat up sleigh and the old reindeer who are, just beyond their years. And yet it's him and his Christmas spirit that Arthur that gets this through, that gets it done. And it's not an easy thing. There's a lot of screw ups on the way, but it's a fun movie. It's really well written, well voice acted. And yeah, this is going to be in my top 10 Christmas movies from here on. I really enjoyed this one. Good pick.
Boss.
I cried twice.
Oh.
When he opened up, they went in to find the sleigh who's named Eve. And then they opened up the little elf door, and it's, the most magical place on earth. It's where the reindeer are. And it's Donner and Dasher, and then it's like the one with the white ear. And it just filled me with the Christmas spirit, I will say, and I just cried. I just loved it, and I just loved how it went. It, like both the guys say, it exceeded my expectations. Rich, it was really good. It was fun. It was modern. It was a modern Christmas tale, but it was full of the magic of Christmas. And Tina, don't tell.
See, that's why I watch movies with lights off.
But yeah, and then of course at the end when they're trying to get the little kid her bicycle. I had the feels. It was great. I mean, it was a good cry. It wasn't bad, and I'll just say that little old reindeer and Grandpa was probably my favorite things about it.
Yeah.
The reindeer guys, it had a cone of shame, and it was obvious. If you've ever had an old big dog, that's what it looked like, and it was just, I just wanted to pet him and make him happy until the end of time. But it was beautiful. I loved it.
All right, so here are some of the voice actors in this before we keep going. People that little tiny parts. Michael Palin, he's the old elf.
Wow.
The one who brings in the communications thing. Eva Longoria she's the head of the United Nations Federal International Treaty Alliance. Laurel Linney is the North Pole computer. So the lead elves are voiced by Sanjeev Bhaskar, Robbie Coltrane, Joan Cusack, Rhys Darby, who I think is just hilarious.
Rhys Darby's great.
He is. Jane Horrocks, Ian McKee, Andy Serkis, and Dominic West. I mean, that right there is a freaking cast.
Yeah.
And they have little tiny bit parts. They're just a couple of voices, people asking questions. And, it was great. It was really well done.
Rhys Darby, if you've never seen any of him, check out Flight of the Conchords. He's their manager, and he's freaking hilarious. And then you'll know he's been in a lot of stuff, and he's freaking hilarious.
He is
I
funny.
think he's a New Zealander.
He is a New Zealander.
Yeah, he's great. Dominic West.
He's in the Jumanji movies with The Rock.
That's right. He's the Avatar.
The NPC guy, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But he's great. That's funny. A lot of little parts filled by people that, if you saw them, other than us saying their names.
Oh, Ellen, did you cry during the movie? Just a little.
That's why I watch the movies with the lights off in movies like that.
He's crying now. It's okay, buddy.
Well, I cried during my movie when the serial killer got killed.
I'm changing. Bill Nye and Broadbent were in Harry Potter. Mike Lewis says, "Well, what British actor wasn't in that dang series, right?"
So Imelda Swinton, Imelda Swinton. She's in this as Mrs. Claus. What's
Tilda.
that? No, not her.
Oh,
she is the woman who plays. I can't remember her name in the Harry Potter movie. She's in the pink dress. She's a bad guy. What the heck is it? I think it's I gotta look it up. Imelda something. And she's in it too, and she was in Harry Potter. Imelda Staunton.
Oh. Oh,
Who will Bill Nye play the role in Harry? Yep. Absolutely true, Mike.
Yeah.
Anyway, what would you guys give this one?
I'd give it a 4.25.
Boss?
Going with a 5.
Nice. What about you, Big Dog?
I'll give it a 4. I'm not a big anime movie person, but I did really enjoy this one. It was a good pick, and one I'll probably throw in the Rolodex of Christmas movies that we have.
I'm going to give this one a 4.5. I really enjoyed this one. It is a movie
Nice.
that I'll watch more than one more time.
Good pick.
I can't believe I high scored it, but no, I'm going with the reindeer. Worth it. Reindeer were worth it all. Just seeing them in their glory as they had magic dust sprinkled on them and they flew across the night sky, avoiding tigers or, lions.
That was funny.
Undersecretary Head Inquisitor Dolores Umbridge.
That's who it was.
Mike,
Thank you,
Mills
Mike.
got it for us. Thank you, Mike.
Mills
Always
is
about the knowledge there. Whether we are being spanked or not by Mike.
We can only hope.
He gives us a hard time because he likes us.
Spank?
All right, who's next?
You want to go, Scott?
All right. I feel a little weird when Hadley said, we picked a movie that's like part of our personality. I picked a serial killer movie.
You
Well, if the shoe fits.
I picked it.
Let's hear it, Cinderella.
It hasn't even been out for a month. It's A Wonderful Night, or as the tagline says, every time a bell rings, an angel gets to kill. Opens up in this small little Midwest town. The main star is Winnie Carruthers, who's played by Jane Widdop. She's living a good life. She's got a very nice boyfriend. He's one of the most popular kids in school. She's got 2 best friends. Her family is a little weird, but they're loving. She's got a brother who she's very close with. She's got an aunt and the aunt's girlfriend who are just hilarious. I love them through the movie. And her parents are loving and doting, but they're a little bit behind the times. It's almost like a 1960s parent today. She's happy with them. It opens up Christmas Eve in the town. The Christmas festivities are being run by the mayor, Henry Water, who's played by Justin Long, who I think rocked this role. And her father works for Water's real estate company. And on Christmas Eve, they go to one of the older gentlemen who happens to be one of her best friend's grandfathers, and they're trying to get him to sell his property and saying it's too big, you're in it by yourself, it's run down, we'll give you a good price for it. And he refuses. So later that night, a serial killer shows up. A guy in a white outfit. He looks almost like an angel. And I'm not giving away anything here because this is the first 15 minutes. He winds up killing the old man who refused to sell, her best friend, her best friend's boyfriend, and is going after her brother. When Winnie kills serial killer, you pull the mask off. Gee, big surprise! It's Justin Long. So a year later, everything has changed. The family is completely depressed that they lost. A year later, family is trying to get over the whole thing. For Christmas, they wind up giving her this like pink tracksuit that barely fits her, and her brother gets a new pickup truck. She finds out that, she applied for college. She was going to go to NSU. She didn't get in, so she's depressed about that. She goes to a party and then finds out that her other best friend and her boyfriend have been fooling around for a year because she's been so distant. So this whole thing is, and her father's working now. He's the new realtor that's running the show. He's got everything. He's the new like head man in town. So she gets depressed. She goes up to the dock and she says, things would have been better if I was never born. And boom, boom, the Aurora Borealis appears and she gets her wish. She was never born. Therefore, she wasn't there to stop Justin Long. Not only did he kill those three, he managed to kill her brother. And he's running amok through the town now. He's killing everybody, but he's now taken over. Not only is he the head realtor, he's the mayor. And of course, like in the movie, nobody knows who she is. Nobody recognizes her as the best friend, or, we don't have a daughter. We had one child. He was killed last year. The only two people that believe her is this girl who does a great job, by the way. I can't remember the actress's name. She plays the socially inept young girl. Everybody calls her Weirdo. And she winds up believing her because she understands what it's like to be left out. And the aunt believes her because she knows things about the aunt's past that the aunt told her that only she would know. Oh, and the father now is a workaholic. The mother is an alcoholic who has a string of men. The aunt doesn't have the girlfriend anymore, so the whole town's crap. So these three get together because they have to stop Justin Long. They have to kill him to set the timeline right. So she, if she kills him, then she goes back. Everything's right. It's a fun movie. It's not the best movie you're gonna watch. I liked it. I thought the acting was pretty good. There's a couple of plot twists in it. The murders aren't gory, but they're a bit ingenious. There's a lot of subtle humor in it. I like this movie a lot better than I thought I was going to. It was a fun Christmas movie. I mean, it's a cheap take on It's a Wonderful Life. The movie may cost about $888,000 to produce. Right now, it's already gone over, and it's only been a month. It's made almost $1 million so far. Wow. So, and I don't think it was ever theatrically. I don't think it was ever theatrically released. I think it was only released on Amazon. So I enjoyed it. I'm probably going to watch this again every year along with Violent Night. What did you all think?
It reminded me of, but not as good, of that flick that came out earlier this year, Totally Killer, where the girl goes back in time.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. And it was okay. I like Bill McHale and Justin Long. He's been nailing it in horror movies lately.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was a decent watch. I don't know if I would put it on my $20 is $20, Craig. I don't know if I would put it on my in my Rolodex with Christmas movies, but it was okay. I didn't feel like I had wasted any time watching this movie. It just had a lot of elements that we've seen recently now. If it had came out before Totally Killer, maybe if it came out last year, it might be on the new and innovative movies for me. I love the title though. I thought that was a great title.
Yeah.
But I thought it was okay. You guys?
Boss?
I didn't hate it. But I kept thinking, did we watch part 1?
Yeah.
And that was like where I was like, did we watch it? And I don't remember it if we did. But so this was it kind of took me by surprise that it was a part 2. So that was, I've kind of taken off points for that. since I didn't get the part one.
It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember this being a part 2.
Yeah, this isn't a part 2.
So
It's standalone.
is it?
Yeah.
Well, it should have been a part 2. It would have made more sense that they kept referring to the murder from the year before and all that.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
Yeah, but that was when she killed Justin Long in the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
okay. Well, again, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed watching it. It gave me something to do today while I was piddling about. So, like I said, but it just wasn't a keeper. Like, what was the one we watched last year with the guy from Stranger Things?
Violent Night.
Yeah, I mean that was a really good one. So I would say that it was okay. I didn't make the connection to the other movie, so I'm not going to say that. I like the play on "It's a Wonderful Life." I thought that was fun. I thought it was fun, but like I said, it just wasn't what I was looking for.
You still haven't found it, huh?
I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. Like Scott said, it's not going to win any Academy Awards. It was typical slasher movie mixed with Christmas, and then the thing is there wasn't a lot of gore, like Scott said. But the killings were interesting. I mean, that's what you watch this type of movie for, anyways. New and inventive ways to murder someone. The jumper cables was cool.
Yeah,
I did like that. But it was a little lackluster in a few areas, and honestly, the reason I say that is because I kept trying to compare this to that movie that Alan was talking about that we had seen earlier in the year, which was a far superior movie to this. But like Hadley said, I didn't hate it. It was okay. I think that I should probably watch it again just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But I like the play on It's a Wonderful Life. I like the way they did it, and the way that they had her. You know, if she wasn't born, all these people would have died. It would have had an alcoholic person. My father would have been a killer. That type of thing. I thought that was really well done, and it's a great idea. They pulled it off well. Excuse me. The acting was done well, and yeah, I'll leave it there. I thought it was good, and I think that I will probably watch it again just to ensure that I didn't miss anything.
I've seen it twice this year already. So,
yeah.
Did you catch anything in the second running that you didn't catch?
There is one thing, and I don't want to give it away, but there is. Well, I'm not giving anything away. There is one small plot flaw at the end of the movie.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, and if anybody who watches it, if they catch the plot flaw, let me know. I'll let you guys know afterwards. It was something like if I was like reviewing the movie, it would be like, no, that doesn't work. But so what do you rate this?
Tina knows me too well.
Well, at least I'm getting my reputation back for bad movies.
Well, it wasn't a bad movie. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say that it just wasn't what I was looking for. I didn't hate it. I would say it was a C. Like if it was an A, B, and C movie, it's a C movie.
Yeah.
The acting was good. So it wasn't the actor's fault. I just think that I kept thinking that it was a part 2. I think that's my biggest takeaway.
That's the writer in you. There you go.
Yeah.
So what's your numerical rating, Adley?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a 3.5.
Okay. Rich?
I give it a 4.
4? Okay. Rich?
I give it a 3.75. I think it was 4 worthy, but it was better than I thought it was going to be.
I'll give it a 3.5. I didn't hate it, and it's worth a look-see, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those like when nothing else is on, you want to watch something that's a slasher Christmas movie. It's put it in,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So,
but it's
you
not
know,
going to give you the feels like those little reindeer.
uh,
You're not going to get the Christmas spirit from watching it.
well, speaking of the Christmas spirit, I guess we'll dive into mine. Mine is 1994's Trapped in Paradise, and this stars Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey. And they were at the height of their stuff there in the 90s, and this definitely has the 90s feels all over it. It follows the Furpo brothers, one of their names. Nicolas Cage is the oldest. He plays Bill. And then you have John Lovitz plays Dave, and Dana Carvey plays Alvin. And Bill is trying to go straight because this is a family of grifters, losers. He's not in jail, but his two brothers are in prison at the time. And at the beginning, it shows his struggle with trying to be a good guy when he finds a wallet on the subway floor that's been kicked all over the place. He opens it up. There's like $800 in it, and he has a hard decision of whether to take the $100 or be a good Samaritan and go with his better nature. And he ends up going with his better nature begrudgingly, and the movie rolls from there. His brothers Alvin and Dave are paroled uh, early because there's something like it's just like in New York, I think. At the beginning of it's like in New York, I think. And so they're kicked out of prison, and he goes to pick them up, and they drag him down into the family because it's a family of grifters. The mom, just everybody in that family are bad news. And there's a friend of John Lovitz that knows of this bank in this small Pennsylvania town. Of course, this is happening during Christmas. So Bill ends up going with his two brothers who are just no good. They're not good at what they do. They're not even good criminals. And they end up in this small Pennsylvania town right before Christmas. There's a big snowstorm and they're trapped. But they're going to rob this bank. But then Bill gets involved with one of the locals, Machen Amick. Amick? I think she was from Twin Peaks. I think I could be wrong. And so there's a whole love interest thing that gets involved there. And every time these guys do something bad, which is, really not that bad because they're, supposed to be relatable guys, the town is so sweet and good that it ends up being good. And they're fighting the whole time of trying to rob this bank or not, or doing the right thing or not. And there's a big snowstorm. They're trapped. That's why it's called Trapped in Paradise. And they had to use 75,000 pounds of potato flakes to make this snowed in feeling here. And there's a lot of character actors from that time. You have John Ashton from Beverly Hills Cop, the heavier cop.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he's in the number 4 that's coming out here on Netflix soon. He's back again with Billy. But I saw this movie back in Tina and I saw this movie back in the 90s, and we loved it. We loved it. I watched it again a couple days ago. It was not as funny as I remembered it to be. There was a lot of silliness. Dana Carvey making the stupid face and doing the stupid accent. In fact, I think John Lovitz was better in this than Dana Carvey was. Sergeant Taggart, thank you, Mike. And Nicolas Cage was reserved in this because he was the I guess kind of the straight guy in this.
Mm-hmm.
And while they were making this movie, John Lovitz said they hated making this movie and they called it Trapped in Bullshit. Some movies you watch are better left in your memory. Because I was going to throw this back into my rotation of Christmas movies, but sadly it was not the movie I remember.
Excuse me.
What say you guys and gal?
Boss.
I'm relieved to hear you say that. The one thing that I hate about this movie is Dana Carvey's voice.
Yes.
It's like, what choice was this? Whatever made you think this was something people wanted to listen to for 2 hours?
Yes.
But it was fun. I mean, I had fun watching the whole thing with the mom. And that little old lady, I mean, she was in 100 things, but
Yeah.
she kind of saved the movie for me. But not my favorite Nicolas Cage movie. And it really isn't Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage either.
No.
So
In fact, he's not that good in this.
no.
A couple of scenes was Nicolas Cage, but you're right.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big John, what's his name, fan.
Lovitz.
So, yeah, he just. There's another actor that reminds me of him, and they're both just like, just kind of swarthy. But I mean, it was a fun. It's a Christmas movie. I mean, it is a Christmas movie, and it had the hope, and it's one of those that I can see where some people, not me, will want to watch this for Christmas. It will put you in the mood for the season, though, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think,
Rena has a very strong comment about your movie, Al.
But back in '94, when we first watched this, we loved it. Swarthy.
That was 30 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
As
or
a
me,
Stormy
Scott?
guy.
Was that
You or me?
you?
All right. I'll start off with a cough. Excuse me. So this is this falls into the category of one of those mass-produced John Candy, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd comedies of the 80s and 90s. It's perfect in every respect to all of the other ones. They're all basically the same movie. Different plot, different actors, same style.
Yeah.
This is another movie that I had seen a long time ago, like you, Alan, and I thought it was better then than now. I didn't think it sucked now. I thought it was okay, but it was a chore to get through at times. I think Nicolas Cage, like Hadley said, this is not Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. There were a couple of scenes where, he's doing this, he's doing the Nicolas Cage. And John Lovitz does it back to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, woo, 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 the Nicolas Cage thing like that. But for the most part, this was just him being a stiff, and it made me a little sad to know that, Nicolas Cage was so good. And then this movie was when he was good, and he just wasn't that good. And then he went through this swath of crappy movies for the past 15 years or so, or 10 years or so. And now he's starting to come back up a little. But this is one of those movies when he was supposed to be in his prime that just wasn't that good.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that good in it. But a lot of the other actors, like Moffat, he played Gary from The Thing. He's in this, and he plays, a bank manager. He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. In fact, the whole goddamn town is the best town in the world. If you want to live someplace, live in Paradise, Pennsylvania, because they take care of their own. They're all good people. And you get the two wise guys that broke out of prison to go steal money from people who have already stolen money. That's just dumb. Why would you do that? That's just dumb. You can go rob the bank again later. But I think it was just missing something. It needed a prod here and there to make it. It was almost funny, and the John Candy and the Bill Murray movies, and they were all funny. This just needed a kick in the ass to make it funny. And Dana Carvey's character was very flat, and Hadley, you're right, his voice was Happy Gilmore. I mean, the Waterboy type of voice. It was annoying as hell. What were you going to say, Alan?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, when you were talking about that, it needed a prod. There was just something. Lovitz, I read a thing where Lovitz had said that the director just kind of told him, just be funny. Just go out there and be funny. Yeah, so you can see that, because what they think is funny, we're not going to, So, sorry about that.
You guys got.
I disagree with you guys on Lovitz and Carvey. I thought they were great in this because they were meant to be They were meant to be annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing could be, you're trying to rob a bank with these two. I can't think of anything I'd want to do less except maybe be stuck in prison with them. But I liked it. I thought it was good because it was a Christmas movie. Here's Nicolas Cage. He's trying to get back on track. His life sucks. He takes his two dumb brothers. They go to this town. They rob the bank. And despite everything bad that's happened, the town people take them in. They're not upset. They love them. They show them the Christmas spirit. And Fred is getting into trouble here. Fred, you're made the naughty list. You make the naughty list. And it's just the kindness of these town people who don't even know him that turns Nicolas Cage at the end. As a Christmas movie, it's good. Yes, this is not one of my favorite Nicolas Cage performances. I think he was, I don't know, it was probably the direction and that, but he didn't shine in this movie. He was there as the main star, but all the other actors and actresses outshone him in this one.
Yeah.
I won't watch it again. I'm glad I watched it once. It's worth watching. It's a funny Christmas movie, but it's not Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or Groundhog Day.
Both of which are that exact movie that I was.
I knew that's what you were
What
thinking.
this movie wanted to be.
Yeah. No. I enjoyed it back in the 90s when I saw it.
Me too.
Yeah, and watching it now. I mean, it was a movie where that's how you want your Christmas movies to be. It was a nice, everybody was so nice in this town, taking care of them. That's Christmas, So
It's a feel-good ending.
it is. Definitely. Definitely. But so what do you Hadley, what do you rate this?
I'm going to go with a 3.
Scoot,
3.
Rich.
I'm gonna join the masses here, buddy. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Oh, here's another one. I'm gonna give it a 3 too.
Oh boy!
That's
Three
2 in one
around.
night.
He's in one night.
Let's see. Can you confirm?
We had a 5 rating tonight. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You can see somebody looking over my shoulder waiting for me to end the podcast.
Did you get a new jar of peanut butter there, Scott?
No. Well, he knew the minute he saw the podcast pop up, he was sitting here waiting for his big doggy bone treat. So,
His big doggy bone treat.
yeah.
Oh, you bone envy.
Bony. Bonitis. Well, I guess we got that down.
Yeah. These are all good picks.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I'm glad I watched Trapped in Paradise.
Yeah.
Because now I know I don't need to see it again. But it wasn't that it was a bad pick. It was just it didn't hold up to what I remember as a kid. And there's reasons for that. It's because everything else now is much more. Even the comedy is more serious.
Yeah.
So it's just a completely different genre than it used to be.
Plus, we were young and positive and full of hope back then.
Yeah.
Now we get
we're
it.
just crotchety old men. We're like Michael Caine and Robert De Niro on the porch.
Speak for yourself. Like crotchety old man.
We're crotchety old men.
Well, I guess that wraps up our movies. Anything? Anybody got anything they want to throw out there?
No, Craig, Mike, Landa, Tina, what did you guys think of these movies? Did you like them? I know. Tina said that Alan's movie wasn't her favorite.
No. I think she was
said
going
it
to
sucked.
Yeah. That when Dana Carvey started talking at the beginning of that, she's like, I'm out. That's horrible.
Yeah, see, Mike's got it right. We're like secondhand lions.
Yeah, lions.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the name.
I'm thinking like the old man in the Muppet Show, but
Same thing.
There you go.
well, I hope that everyone has a very wonderful holiday, whether they celebrate whatever. Love you guys, and I can't wait to reconnect next Thursday when we're doing movies based on video games.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So that should be fun. And I hope y'all all have a nice time with your family.
Yeah. Have a Merry Christmas,
Everybody,
Merry
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas,
everybody.
Happy Holidays.
And we're doing Doom, the original Mario Brothers movie. What else?
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill
And Max Payne.
and Max Payne. So if you want to get a jump start on that, if you've got some downtime between cooking the turkey, the ribeye, whatever you're doing, wrapping presents and unwrapping them, give them a look see, and that way we can get some more input because we really want more input from all of you. We really want to do some more interaction, and I think next year we'll be doing more of that.
Yep. And tomorrow night is the darkest night of the year, and I look forward to the return of the light with each of you.
You mean the light's not returning, or it may not return?
Yes.
No, I hope so. Please, God, don't
Yeah, better. I got
let
shit to do.
2024 bring the darkness.
And is it true that Monday is a full moon?
It is.
Great. We're all going to be the family's going to be getting together, drinking, and it's a full moon. Oh, this is going to be it's a wonderful night.
Hopefully not, right?
All right, kids. Well, and hope y'all have a very happy holiday. Love your family, spend time with them, and laugh a lot. We'll
Merry
be thinking
Christmas.
about y'all.
Ciao.
Take care, everybody. Thanks
Have a
for
good-
coming.